Oh my God, we got a legend in the building today. I do a lot of interviews, and every now and then you get excited when you have the opportunity to speak to somebody you have long admired, and this is one of them days. We have a legend in the building, lead singer of Shalimar, incredible solo career, multi-platinum albums, Grammy winner. Please welcome to Vlad TV, Mr. Howard Hewett. Howard, what's up, man?
What's up, man? What's up? Your check is in the mail. All that was a great introduction. That was cool.
Nah, I gotta bring you on right. I
appreciate
you deserve it. So, I want to take it back because you got a long, storied career. You've been in music pretty much your whole life.
All my life, yeah.
Where you born and raised at?
Born and raised in Akron, Ohio. I was left there when I was like 20 years old, but for the most part, before then, I was born and raised in Akron, Ohio, rubber capital of the world.
When most people think of Akron, they think of LeBron James.
Right.
So you're like, yo, I put Akron on the map long
time ago.
LeBron.
Well, myself and James Ingram. James Ingram's from Akron. Had a lot of, there's a lot of music that came out of Ohio, period. Akron, Dayton, Columbus, Cincinnati, all that stuff. But in Akron, it was myself, James Ingram, Devo was from Akron, Chrissy Hines, and she was from Akron. And Akron really provided, and I've been talking about this a lot because I was just back there, my birthday, October 1st, and they renamed the street that I grew up on. They renamed it Howard Hewett Junior Way. You know what I'm saying? So
congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. And there was we had the commemorations for that, and so we did a lot of interviews and everything. And what I realized, and I always talked about it before, but really got into it then, was that Akron really. I love Akron so much because it provided a safe environment for me to explore my foundation as far as my music is concerned. A safe environment without having to, be concerned about getting shot in the streets and all that. And at 14, 15, 16 years old, I was playing like cabarets from 12 midnight till 6 in the morning, And my band that I was with, we started playing, clubs and stuff there where they sold liquor. We're like 15, 16, 17 years old. They sold liquor there, but we still were able to play there for a bunch of different places around Akron and around different places in Ohio. So it was a great place to grow up.
Did you know James and any of the others before y'all made it big?
I met James when I was 15. I met James. Yeah, James was with a group called Revelation Funk, and he only played keyboards and sang background because he didn't consider himself, a lead singer. So they had a guy, this cat Bernard Lawson, that was like, when James was alive, we would always say that Bernard. To this day, Bernard could sing me and him up under that chair over there. That's how bad this cat is. He still is. And so James's group was called Revelation Funk. My group was called Life. We spelled it Lyfe. And we were like Revelation Funk. All the cats in Revelation Funk were about 4, 5, 6 years older than us. We were like Revelation Funk proteges. Everything they did, we were like on it, man. It was like crazy. So, but I used to see them in my gymnasium doing Battle of the Bands with Ohio players and Revelation Funk. I used to see them for about $1.50. Get into, it was just an amazing, and a lot of groups came up in Akron. There's a lot of talent, a lot of groups that came up, but because we didn't have anything to really look at, like record companies and all that kind of stuff. I mean, we were just doing music, and so that's why a lot of groups got together, then they break up, and then other groups get together and they break up. We never saw an outlet. We never saw an end to our madness. So unless you were really dedicated to what you were doing, you could go by the wayside, because going and I mean. The first Rolls Royce I ever saw was this cat Donald Leathers. We used to call him Hollywood, and he was the top pimp in Akron. So that was the first time I ever saw a Rolls Royce.
Now, your mother in Akron, she was actually a gospel promoter, no?
She major. I'm glad you said it, because a lot of people don't know that, but she was a major gospel promoter in the Akron, Cleveland, Canton area. And she would bring people in, like James Cleveland, Albertina Walker and the Caravans, when Shirley Caesar was still with them. Five Blind Boys, Alabama, Pilgrim Jubilees, Volunteers, Soul Stirrers, all those cats. And she put our group together, me and my sisters, called the Hewett Singers. And I was like 11 years old at that time. And once we were and shaping up to tour, to perform. Of course, nepotism was alive and well in our family. So every time she would bring a show in, we would open up the show for her there. And then in the summertime, we go on the Chitlin Circuit, gospel Chitlin Circuit, up and down the East Coast, Midwest, parts of Canada and stuff. So we had a good time.
Nice. Okay, so from Akron, you make your way where? To LA?
Man, when I was 6 years old, man, my dad piled us all. I have 4 older sisters, and he piled, and I have a younger brother. He piled all of us in this station wagon that we had, and his sister, my Aunt Ida, and my mom, he and my mom, and we took a cross-country trip from Ohio out here to California. And we stayed with my uncle, my mom's brother, for about 10 days, and then turned around and drove back. And ever since then, 6 years old, never came back between then and the time I left. Never came back. But I always say, I'm living in California. I want to live in California. So, so when I turned like 19, I was 18, I did a little bout with insanity. I had my little bout with insanity, and I joined the Air Force, So, because I was like, wanting to figure some stuff out. But I was supposed to do like 4 years. I did 10 months, 11 days, and 4 hours in there. Got out honorable discharge, full benefits, everything. But I went back to Akron for about a year, and then I came when I was 19, and then when I was 20, I moved out here, and that was it. I
never looked back.
I touched down LAX. After I paid for my ticket to come out here, I had $34 in my pocket, man. And my cousin picked me up at the airport. My cousin Michael picked me up at the airport, man. And it was me and him for about 8-9 months, and I had a ball. I had no money, making, I finally got a little, only 9 to 5 I ever really had. I got, a job at this department store called Orbox. I worked in the women's shoe department. I was 20 years old, working in the women's shoe department. I had a ball. It was great. So, what do you mean you're not wearing stockings? Your legs are perfect. It's like it was great. It was great. So, I did that. Yeah, it got out here when I was 20 years old.
Okay, so how did you transition back into music? At the time you working at the women's shoe store, are you on the side singing?
I connected with these people down at this place called Mavericks Flat, down in the Crenshaw district, John Daniels and Alonzo Daniels. And what Mavericks Flat, it was a club on the weekends, but during the week, it was they had Maverick International, which was a booking agency, and all their bookings were overseas. So John and Alonzo put together show groups. You did top 40 stuff, everything from Disco Inferno to Mandy. You know what I'm saying? And so we did. About 2 weeks after I got out here, I connected with them down at Mavericks Flat, because the guy that played bass for Revelation Funk, Revelation Funk came out here and stayed, and were out here about a year, and then they broke up. So this cat
Mm-hmm.
T Tucker played bass for them, but now he was playing bass for this group called Love Machine. The Love Machine. There's like seven women that just they're all top 40 stuff. The first black model for The Price is Right, Kathleen Bradley.
Yes.
She started in the Love Machine. That's how she got her start down in Mavericks Flat. A lot of people were Ralph Johnson from Earth, Wind and Fire started out down in Mavericks Flat as well. So, I got down there and I met John a couple weeks, John and Alonzo a couple weeks after I got out here. And he expressed the fact that he wanted to put together at that time a real classy. He was looking for a classy type of feel as far as the group was concerned, and top 40 stuff. And so like we put a group together called Beverly Hills, and we rehearsed for about a year. And then finally went overseas. Our first gig was overseas in Helsinki, Finland, and we started that, and I did that first tour about 9 months over there, making $250 a week, But I was like 22 years old, somewhere around there, man. I had no wife, no kids, no responsibility, no nothing. I was just hanging, having a good time. We went everywhere from Helsinki, Finland to Geneva, Switzerland, Saint-Tropez, France, Benidorm, Spain, all over the place, man. It was amazing time. So I did that for about a year. After I was working the job, and the whole time I was working the job, then we were rehearsing it to go overseas. So it was cool. It was good. It was really good.
So what happened with the group? I mean, y'all having a good old time. You're young. You're doing your thing. Did the group ever get signed?
No, we never even looked at. It wasn't even about getting signed. It was we were doing. I used to tell John Daniels. I used to tell him. I said, "Man, I can make gold records, man. I can do that." They were having a party one time. I remember for whatchamacallit, from the producer from Motown. He's passed away now. Did car wash and all that stuff. Man, what's his name? He would come back from the grave and kill me if I couldn't. Again, but they were having a party for him to present him with like gold and platinum records for car wash, for Rolls Royce. And man, I was at that. They were having it at Mavericks. And I told John, I said, man, I went outside. I said, John, man, I can make gold records. I can do that. Just get me in the studio. And he laughed. He's like, ah, ha, ha. And then send me back overseas again for about another 4 or 5 months or so. So, yeah.
The group wound up breaking up overseas?
We broke up overseas. We broke up before we left London, but trying to get a deal was not even in the works as far as that group was the group was concerned. John never really had that type of. He was a very creative cat, but he never really had that type of motivation as far as like records and stuff were concerned.
Got you. We talking about Norman?
Norman Whitfield. Thank you.
There you go.
Norman Whitfield. Yep. He killed me, man. He was like, because Norman tried to sign some stuff up with me for a long time, but we never did. We never could, connect as far as certain things are concerned.